You've only got two choices when it comes to AI, but here's the thing. I see all these headlines in the news every single day, fear-mongering about how AI is coming for you, it's gonna take your jobs, you're getting replaced, and it's probably gonna be true one day, but I don't think it's true today. The opportunity that you have in front of you as an entrepreneur is to learn how to use artificial intelligence to go 100 times faster in your day-to-day work than you've ever been able to before. Right now, I am shipping work at an insanely fast pace, and the only reason is because I'm taking the time to learn how to use the tools that are out there. And in this video, I'm gonna walk you through 4 of my absolute favorites. So the first product on this list is called Superwhisper, and you just got a demo of it in the first 20 seconds of this video. I had always wanted to be able to talk to my computer like we were in the future, but the problem was that the models, the dictation software, was never freaking good enough up until like 6 months ago. It would be filled with so many errors that I would just lose more time trying to edit what the dictation software put out than it would take me to actually type it, because I type pretty fast. Superwhisper changed all of this, and I'll tell you when I finally realized it. You know, when you're working with AI, the whole name of the game is like writing prompts and giving the AI model enough context where it can actually give you useful information in return. And what I found is that the more in-depth I got with the prompts and the conversations I was having with the AI models, I was actually the limiting factor because I was freaking lazy. I didn't want to like take the time to write out 5 paragraphs of context, and it was limiting the quality of the results that I could get back. Superwhisper is what broke that for me, because now I can just turn it on, just like you saw, and just talk. I can just explain what I need to explain. I'm giving better quality inputs into the AI models that I'm using, and I'm getting insanely better outputs, and it's all because I can dictate effectively. So Superwhisper is absolutely where you should start, because it will make you more effective with everything else on the list that I'm about to show you. All right, the second tool on this list is called Cursor, and honestly, it has absolutely changed the game for me when it comes to building software. I built my first software company in 2017, and our go-to method for figuring out how to solve problems was called Stack Overflow Copy Paste. Any software engineers out there will get the joke. There was a website called Stack Overflow where people would ask questions about coding, and then other people would answer them and like share code snippets and teach how they solved the problem. So when you had a problem, you'd go on Stack Overflow, you'd search for whatever issue you were running into, you'd grab the code and you'd paste it into your code base and see if it worked or not. Today in 2025, we get to be a little bit smarter with the help of our AI friends. So Cursor is a code editor. You can see it up here on the right side of my screen. And what it does is it combines a normal code editor with this little slide out window that is actually an AI integrated chat window right there that can read your code base, pass it to the AI prompt, and then make recommendations on how your code needs to change. And to show you how it works, I'm actually going to add something to our software in real time on this YouTube video. So I want to add a help page into this software, right? And so I want to put a little help menu item over here, but I want it aligned all the way to the right, and it's going to lead to another page that's going to have a few different things to click on. Now I'm going to use Superwhisper to actually dictate to the AI model what I want to do. In the main navigation at the top of the page, I'd like to add another option called Help. However, I would like it right aligned inside the menu bar. We click Submit, and now it's going to think, give a little readout of what it's going to do, and then you'll see it actually generates the code and shows you the it's called the diff, like the new code versus the old code, right here in the file. All right, we can see here it added the help button. I don't really like the way that it looks. Let's give it some more instructions. Please add some right side padding so that the help button is more closely aligned underneath the user drop down button above it. And try to line these two things up a little bit. There we go. I think that'll work. All right, cool. So we've got the help icon over here, but I do feel a little bit weird that the padding is different on the left than the right. I think I don't care for now because this is lined up with the logo. All right, sweet. Next up. Now please generate a view so that way when you click on the help button, the user can go to the new page and then I can put some content on it. All right, we're gonna get a new help spot generated here. And so this thing is actually like running console commands. Ran into an error, so now it's putting up another command to fix the error. I had to install some gems. So it's pretty wild. It just asks you what command it wants to run and you click OK, and then it runs the command. Apparently Cursor also has a mode called YOLO mode where it can just run whatever command it wants, but I don't want it to do that because it can delete stuff, get a little crazy. This thing's just doing its thing, rocking and rolling. All right, so it's got the view created. Now it's gonna update the menu, so the button in the menu bar actually points to it. This is the new page it created, so we'll use that here in a minute. Let's refresh and see what it looks like. Now we click help. Now, of course, this thing is incredibly ugly, which we will fix. However, it exists, and that is a good start. So we're going to standardize how this shows up to make it match the rest of the software. And as I said, it's interesting. I told it to use a component. Now it's searching the code base for the component. It found the component right here, the card component, and now it's going to update the help page to use it. You also notice it pays attention to the details, like it shows this as blue when you're active on that page. Pretty nice. All right, cool. So now we got our card. Is it the same? It looks the same. The padding's the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last but not least, we're going to put 3 large buttons inside the body of the card. One of them will link to the knowledge base. One of them will link to our calendar to book a call with our team. And the third one will link to our support email. Don't need to actually link them to anything yet. They're just placeholders, but go ahead and create them. That can replace all of the text that is inside the card currently. Boom, there we go. Last step is you click this little accept all button and it accepts the changes, and we literally just built a help page inside of the Precision platform using AI. That's how it works. And we didn't even have to type. We just talked to the computer. It's pretty bananas. So next on my list of favorite tools is something called Relay. If you've ever used Zapier to link together a couple of different pieces of software, you will understand what you're looking at here and you'll understand how Relay works. But there are 2 things that it does incredibly well. The first one is that it lets you prompt and make calls to various AI models as a step in the workflow completely out of the box, which is wonderful. But yes, there are other platforms that you can do that with. You can do that with Zapier. That by itself is not what got Relay on the list. What Relay does differently than any other automation tool that I've seen is it's got some really slick workflows for getting humans to participate in the automation. I'll show you what I mean here in this one. So this is the actual workflow in my company that runs when we get a new customer. So it starts up here with this first step, this webhook step, which is basically just data getting sent from our payment processor into Relay to kick off the automation. The first thing that happens, we send a message to this Slack channel called revenue data, right? It's just like a little, hey, this person just made their first payment to Precision, a little bit of information about their company. But this is the first part of Relay magic, right? We send this message that says, hey, open the deal board, make sure the following stuff is complete, right? Has the deal been created? Is there a person in a company? If you've ever run a sales team, had to deal with CRM hygiene issues, right? Like keeping your deals up to date and making sure the notes are in, you understand the problem I'm solving right here, right? So we have this whole list of tasks that have to happen. But at the very end, it says once that's all been completed, paste the deal ID below. This is a Slack message. So what happens in Slack is there's a little green button, you click it, a pop-up comes up, you get the ID of the deal from the CRM, you paste it all inside of Slack and you hit go, and then the automation continues. It uses that deal ID, it looks up the deal, it looks up the company, it looks up the person, so it's got all the information about our new customer, and then we hit an AI step. So we call an OpenAI prompt, and we just tell it to parse the company's website and provide a 1-sentence explanation of what they do, and we give them the specific format that I want to output, right? So we give them the domain, which is stored on the company. It goes to the website, it searches it, it reads the text on the website, gives us the 1-sentence summary, and then passes it back into Slack. From here, we've got another data input step where we actually show the response from that AI summary, and we can edit it if we want to make sure that it's accurate. We can add in additional context. We can add in a quote or some other context from the sales call. We do all of this inside of Slack. And once we do that, that's when we get to ring the virtual bell, right? This goes to a different Slack channel that our whole company is in called Revenue Wins. And it's a welcome message. Let's welcome the first name, last name from company name. You welcome the customer, you talk about what happened. the whole 9 yards. It gives the summary that AI gave about the business, additional context, quote from the sales call, and that's what everyone sees. That's the first thing the whole company sees, even though you had 9 other steps that happened in order to tee it up. So that's one example of how you've got what would normally be just a regular automation, but you've got AI steps involved in it and also human input all inside of Slack, and Relay makes it incredibly easy to do. It's one of my favorite automation tools there are. Now, I know I said in the beginning of this video that I was gonna do 4 of my favorite tools. The 4th one is OpenAI Deep Research. I just got the Pro subscription like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I started using Deep Research, and it freaking melted my mind about how good it is. And when I went to record everything I wanted to share with you, I realized that it honestly needs to be its own video. So we're gonna shoot that one separately. I'm gonna put together some prompt examples and give them away. If you wanna make sure you don't miss that video coming out and you want more useful stuff like this about all the different tools I'm using in my business, sign up to my newsletter. It's mattverlack.com/newsletter. Every video we publish, we send out to the list. Every new tool that we find, we send out. It's the best place to keep up with everything we've got going on. mattverlack.com/newsletter. Outside of that, subscribe to this YouTube channel if you're not already. Click the little notification bell so you don't miss any videos. I can't wait to see you guys next week. Peace.